really going down to yellow and brown. That's what's in.
I hate to say this, Padres fans, but if you lose this series, it's not because the Phillies are better than you. It's because of that video right there. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. I'm sorry I haven't been able to post one of these in a few days, and that's because you guys know I think I'm good to go, although I do sound sick still, so bear with me. We are 100% going to talk about Game 1 of the Padres and the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber hit a baseball 900 feet, but of course, before we talk about that, we have to talk about the final game in the division series, the Guardians and the Yankees. So before we talk about Game 5, I do quickly want to talk about something I was unable to go over with you guys. Aaron Judge, he started the series 0 for 9 with 8 strikeouts, and the Yankees fans were not happy.
4 strikeouts for the afternoon.
So as you just heard, they were booing their MVP, 62 home runs. It doesn't mean anything in the playoffs because in a Yankees mindset, everything resets. They go to a 0-0 record. You have 0 home runs. What you did in the regular season doesn't mean anything for right now in October. And I don't mind that mindset, although it probably isn't very fun when Aaron Judge is the guy that's striking out 8 times.
Not at all. It happens. Like I said, it's happened many a times through my career here, and there's nothing I can do. I got to play better. That's what it comes down to. Didn't do the job tonight. Especially as a leadoff hitter, man, I got to get on base. I got to make something happen on the base path, and I didn't do that tonight.
So obviously Aaron Judge heard the boos and he responded to it by basically saying he needs to play better, and he did play a little bit better. He had a couple home runs, including that 2-run bomb off of Tristan McKenzie. Now, I knew as a Guardians fan we were screwed going into Game 5 because they refused to start Tristan McKenzie or Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber was on the same amount of rest as Nestor Cortez, but I guess because he's coming off of shoulder injuries and stuff like that, Terry Francona thought it would be a good idea to stick with Aaron Savali, who has a 5 ERA against the Yankees in his career, and it did not get any easier yesterday as Giancarlo Stanton hit a 3-run Oppo Taco. Postseason Giancarlo Stanton is one of the most fearsome hitters we have ever seen in the playoffs, and this game wasn't even close. I mean, this game was about as predictable as me saying that's okay when a Chipotle worker says, hey, guac is extra. Fine, put extra on it. I am going to get this burrito with guacamole on it, just like the Yankees were going to win Game 5 because Aaron Savali was on the bump. Ahmed Rosario was sacrificed bunting in the first inning. Terry Francona and the Guardians, they replay things when it's clearly out, and then they don't replay things when they're safe. It was just an overall terrible experience. Now I'm happy about the result of 2022 as a whole. We were not supposed to make it this far, and I'm talking about we because I'm a Cleveland fan. We're going to be so much better in 2023, but that final game, it left a weird taste in my mouth because it seems like we just punted it away. There was no contest, and that's because the Yankees, with Nestor Cortez on short rest and that offense showing up, they absolutely smacked us and they rocked us like a baby. Now, speaking of rocking like a baby, Gleyber Torres, he did that in front of our faces yesterday, and he was hoping that it sent a message to Josh Naylor because Gleyber Torres and the Yankees apparently thought it was disrespectful, which I don't mind as a Guardians fan or a baseball fan. To me, I feel like baseball needs more viral moments, and that moment went so viral, Yankees fans were talking about it a couple days later in a completely different game, chanting, "Who's your daddy?" I feel like it added to, well, a lot of people are calling a boring Game 5 because it was so lopsided. So that storyline of Josh Naylor rocking the baby versus the Yankees, were the Yankees going to respond? They did. So to me, a very fun series. I feel like Yankees fans gained a little bit of respect for the organization of Cleveland. I think the only guy they didn't really respect was Josh Naylor. But then again, Josh Naylor came out and he earned a little bit of respect, basically saying, you know what, it was fun. He appreciates the Yankees fans being passionate and actually mocking him in response, and he didn't mind it. So wins all the way around, in my opinion. I don't think that it was cringe. I don't think that it was disrespectful. I mean, as a fan, at least, I wasn't disrespected by it. If you're a Yankees player, probably, but if you're not a player, I don't know how you're disrespected by it. So now if we fast forward to the ALCS, we have a rematch. Unfortunately, Aroldis Chapman will not be there to bail out the Astros, but we have Jameson Taillon in Game 1 versus Justin Verlander. I don't think that Taillon is a gimmick or anything like that, but starting him Game 1 is definitely a decision. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's talk about the Phillies and the Padres game 1. Bryce Harper, it blows my mind that once upon a time, people thought that this guy was overrated. He is now a 2-time MVP, a postseason juggernaut. That is 4 home runs already in the playoffs. Then you have Kyle Schwarber hitting one to Neptune. I'm not even joking. 488 feet, 120 miles off the bat. That is the hardest hit ball of his entire career. And Kyle Schwarber, he's been known to mash, so that's saying something. Bryce Harper, he was shocked by it. I mean, this Phillies team has everything clicking right now. Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, well, I guess we'll have to find out about Aaron Nola shortly, but Zach Wheeler was dominant, 7 shutout innings. He has been one of the more underrated signings of the last few years, in my opinion. If we're talking about free agents, he has been basically a top 5 Cy Young candidate the last 2 years in the National League. Then you have Sir Anthony Dominguez. He shut it down. You had a scary 9th inning, but the Phillies end up with the W. To me, the Phillies are in the driver's seat. I mean, again, this is a team that has everything going for it right now. You have 2 workhorses with Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola starting game 1 and 2, and then games 5 and 6, or whatever the schedule is going to be, whether you're in the championship series or the World Series. You have JT Realmuto hitting inside the park home runs as a catcher. Bryce Harper, Rhys Hoskins, Kyle Schwarber, they're all mashing home runs. They're throwing bats. They're feeling themselves right now. I really believe that the Phillies are giving off a Nationals vibe when the Nationals went off and won a World Series, because everyone writes off that Nationals team that they got lucky. They had a super team of a roster. They were just underperforming, and the same thing can be said for the 2022 Phillies. They were underperforming for a while. They got rid of Joe Girardi. Rob Thompson has really changed the vibes of this team and the culture of the clubhouse. So the Phillies, they have all of the makings to be an elite team. They just didn't really show it until later in the season, and now everything's working. So let me know in the comments, what do you make of Yankees fans booing Aaron Judge, and then Aaron Judge responding by hitting 2 home runs? The Yankees move on to the ALCS. They will be facing off against the Astros, a rematch of the century. I cannot wait to watch that. We have Roger Clemens throwing out the first pitch in that game, which is going to be interesting. And then in game number 1 of the NLCS, the Phillies, they only won by 2, but it felt like a lot more because the Padres, they were completely shut down. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys for bearing with me as I'm recovering from. You guys are the best. I appreciate you. We might be coming out with the second video because Shohei Ohtani, he doesn't seem very happy with the Angels, but maybe he's also being taken out of context, so we'll talk about it. I'll catch you guys there. Peace out.
Philly going down to yellow and brown. That's what's in. Padres on the loose. Let's go, Goose. That's what's in. Bryce gonna lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. That's what's in.
Okay.
I'm a real man. Y'all know I'm a real fan. Last time, Grit shipped that ball from here to Iran.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.